welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another Halloween video. If you haven't seen my previous Halloween video, I'll go ahead and link it right here. That look was just a pumpkin mask look that I did, and that was the kickstart of my Halloween series this year. Today we're going to be doing a cat Halloween look. I don't really want to do the typical cat makeup. I want to make it a little more interesting, a little more detailed, and yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to do. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you definitely should. I'm going to be uploading a lot more Halloween videos this year, so definitely subscribe and hit that post notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. I want to quickly jump into this video, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be switching to a voiceover just because that is easier for me and it helps me move a lot faster. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we begin, I'm just going to move my hair out of the way with this headband, and it's little cat ears. I think I got this from Walmart, so yeah.
First, we're going to start off by priming our face using the Nyx Pore Filler primer, and if you haven't tried this primer, I definitely recommend it. It's super good. And then next, we're just going to be going in with some concealer on the eyelids because I want to start off with the eyeshadow first, and then I'm just going to blend that out with the beauty sponge. I'm going to be using the Joann's Beauty Diosa palette and this shimmery silver shade to highlight my brow bone. It's a very, very pretty shade, and we're also going to use this on the lid a little bit later. Next, we're going to use the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm picking up the shade Mocha, and I'm just blending this throughout the crease. Now, while I'm blending, when I get to the corner of my eye, I am going to kind of like drag it out a little bit because I want to give that like winged out effect. Next, I'm going to pick up Central Park from the Jaclyn Hill palette and just place this right on top of Mocha. I just wanted to deepen out the crease a little bit more, and I feel like stacking brown eyeshadows is a very easy way to deepen out your crease, and it's a lot easier than using black. So I wanted to use brown before I went in with any black first. And to deepen that crease out even more, I'm going to be dipping into Joann's Dark Lust palette and picking up that really dark brown eyeshadow. I absolutely love the Dark Lust palette. I pretty much use it almost every day. So if you can get your hands on that, I definitely would recommend it. Now that our crease is pretty dark, I feel like we can go in with some black in the Dark Lust palette and add that into the crease. And I'm going to drag this out all the way like I did with the other eyeshadows to create that like winged out effect. And for all of the shadows that I use throughout this video, you can totally substitute them for whatever like browns and black eyeshadows that you already have. If you don't have these palettes, this is just what I have on hand, but you could totally achieve the same look with different products. And of course, I'm just taking a separate brush to blend everything out. Now to cut the crease, I'm going to be using my Milani foundation in the shade 1 or Creamy Vanilla. You could totally use foundation or concealer or whatever you have like on hand. I just used foundation just because it was right there in front of me, so it really doesn't matter.
Chuki Beats.
And this is where we go back to the Diosa palette. I'm picking up that like silver shade. We're going to pack that right onto the lid. And I sprayed my brush with Fix Plus just to give it a more like metallic appearance. And I concentrate this more on the inner corner and to like, you know, almost the middle third of the eye. Picking up this gorgeous glittery black shadow from the Dark Lust palette. I pack this on the outer third of the eye, and then I also drag it out with that wing effect again. And to blend that like black and silver line, I just flip my brush back and forth with silver and black eyeshadow and just tap on the center, and it'll slowly start to blend together. We're going to go ahead and move on to foundation. I'm also using the Milani foundation again in the shade 1 or Creamy Vanilla. Taking your favorite concealer, we're just going to add a little bit of concealer under the eyes, the nose, the forehead, the chin, and then also on the top of the mouth. The reason I'm adding a lot more concealer there is because we are going to make that brighter a little bit later in the video, so I'm just going to go ahead and conceal it just to highlight it a little bit. Okay, so I use this NYX HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder, and this is a new product for me. I just tried it out for the first time in this video, and I was so confused because you can't really tell on camera, but when I was setting my concealer, it was making my foundation or concealer underneath look so much darker, and I had no idea why. Like I said, on camera you can't really tell, but like in person it looked orange underneath my eye. I don't know, but I just kind of like went with it, so I'm gonna try this out again and see if it does the same thing. If not, then I don't really know what went wrong, but it's cool. I guess it worked. I feel like you can notice it a little bit in this clip on my forehead, how it gets like a little bit darker, but in person it was like so much more dramatic, and I was like, oh my god, I have to start over, but I just pushed through. Going back to Mocha, I'm going to be using that to shade my nose. Now, this is kind of like contouring your nose, but instead of bringing the lines closer together to make your nose appear smaller, we want our nose to look wider and more flat. So I'm bringing these lines a little bit further apart, and I'm just using like a smudge brush to blend that out. And then here I just went in with Central Park again to add a little bit more depth. I like building my brown, so starting off with a light value and working my way up to a black. Before we add the black, I'm using the Valinino palette from Joann's Beauty and this white eyeshadow, but you could use any white eyeshadow that you have on hand. And I'm highlighting my nose. Again, I want this to look really wide and flat, so I'm just using a large like blending brush really, and just packing that on the bridge of my nose, and then on my forehead. I also bring that white eyeshadow down to the top of my lip. This is just going to kind of like give the appearance that our mouth is coming forward, and then we'll be adding a little more shadows around that a little bit later in the video as well. I kind of jump around a lot, so sorry. Next, you want to take some black Snazaroo body paint and activate it with some water, and we're going to be using this to carve out this nose. This is really going to bring it to life and give it that three-dimensional feel. I also kind of drag some of that black paint down a little bit to help with blending, and then we're going to go in with some dark brown eyeshadow and blend that out even more. I also take this black into the eyebrow because we are going to be creating some bushy eyebrow hairs.
Chuki Beats.
So for this part of the nose, I'm still using the face paint, and I basically draw like a little heart at the tip of my nose, but I didn't really like the heart shape like at the top, so I kind of smoothed out that like point and made it a little more like round, and then just filled everything in. And here I'm just slightly touching up that white. And now moving on to the brows. So I'm using an angled eyebrow brush and a thin eyeliner brush in combination to create these hair-like strokes. And I'm just, you know, flicking my brush to create like this feathered effect. And I just do this all the way throughout the eyebrows. And later on we are going to be adding a little more detail with white eyeliner, so if it's a little messy, don't worry about it. The white eyeliner is basically going to clean it up for us. To make some of those lines a little more precise, I'm taking my NYX eyeliner and just really exaggerating that feathered effect, and the eyeliner just helped to give like a thinner hair-like stroke. Like I said, I keep jumping around in this video, but now we're going to be adding shading around the top of our lip, giving that effect that, you know, this is coming forward. And I just basically take a light brown eyeshadow and go around like the perimeter of that white and then connect it with the corners of my mouth. And then I'm just going back in with white eyeshadow to reinforce that mouth. For the eyeliner, I'm obviously doing a wing. I just feel like that was appropriate for this look. But I also wanted to make this like a cat eye, you know, so I also drag the eyeliner in the inner corner to make it like, you know, a point. I don't know how to explain it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You've seen this before, I'm sure. But right here, like I said, I'm like dragging it into the inner corner, like towards the nose, just to give it a little point, because I feel like that gives you like that cat eye effect.
Chuki Beats.
So I just popped on some lashes and now I'm adding some mascara, but I'm also going to go over my eyelashes with some eyeliner again, because I hate when the glue like dries, but you can still see it, like how it's like white like that. So I just kind of like go over my eyeliner again just to be safe. So for the mouth, it's super simple. I just drew like some lines at an angle from the corner of my mouth, kind of turned up to give like a little smile, I guess. And then I just followed my natural lip line, but I didn't take it all the way up. I just kind of like created like a rounded top lip and then just filled that in. And I feel like once you do this, like the look kind of really comes alive, because when I like saw my face after this, I was like, oh snap, I really look like a cat. Now you could use any brush for this step, but I'm taking this like squared flat eyeliner brush and just connecting the nose to the mouth. This next step is kind of optional, but I'm taking some pink face paint and adding it to my bottom lip. I'm focusing this like in the center of my lip, not so much my entire lip. I just think this looked really good. And then I'm going to set that with some white eyeshadow because I didn't want it to be like overbearingly pink. And now here I'm just adding the whiskers. First, you know, just the black dots. But before we add the whiskers, we are going to be taking our white eyeliner and going back to the brows. And this is where I said it's going to like, you know, kind of fix the mistakes we made, because this is going to make the brows look a lot more sparse and like, you know, feathered. And it also gives a little bit of like some highlights to the hairs, and I just feel like having two different colors, like you don't have to do black and white, but you know, having two different colors gives it a more like three-dimensional feel that there is actual hairs. Here I'm just highlighting those little like whisker like holes, I don't know what they're called, but whatever. And then I'm just going to be adding the whiskers with black eyeliner, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the brows and add some white eyeliner for some highlights. To take this look a step further, we're going to be adding some thin like hair-like strokes to the forehead, and I'm just going all the way around the forehead, and I'm going to also add white as well, just like everything else, to keep it balanced.
Chuki Beats.
We're going to continue this around the rest of the face, but before we do that, I just wanted to bronze a little bit using my WetNWild contour palette in Carmel Toffee, and I'm just adding a little bit of bronzer, and then we're going to be stacking the hairs right on top of that.
Chuki Beats.
I also take this down to the jawline on either side of my chin, and I'm just doing the exact same thing, adding some black hairs and then going back in with white eyeliner to highlight. You can't forget mascara on the bottom lashes, and once you have that, you are good to go.
Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I think this look came out so much better than I thought. I drew this out in my head and everything, and I love how it looks. I love the eyebrows. Honestly, bushy eyebrows are something that I kind of wish I did have, or I don't know, I just admire bushy eyebrows on other people, so this is me living my bushy eyebrow fantasy, you know? This is such a cute look. I feel like I really wanted to take it to the next level other than just doing you know, some whiskers and a nose. I wanted to make it more cat-like. I don't know if that makes sense, but I wanted to make it look more like a realistic cat, or, you know, give the illusion that we're really a cat. Like I mentioned in the beginning, if you haven't seen my first Halloween video, you should totally go check it out. I'm so excited to continue my Halloween series. It's going to be so much fun this month. I am going to be uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you don't want to miss out on any of my Halloween looks, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that post notification bell. That way you are notified every single time I upload a video, and you will not be missing out on these looks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you love this look as much as I did, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys, happy Halloween!